one other thing that I want to tell you, when you're doing this experimenting with your training, here's some things that you got to make sure you focus on. Number one, do I feel the stimulation in the muscle that I'm training right now? I'll give you an example. Sometimes, or let's say, for example, you're doing a stiff leg deadlift and you don't feel nothing in your hamstrings and you feel everything in your lower back. That's not good. Something about the way you do in that exercise is not targeting the muscle that you want to target. So you got to make some changes. Don't just keep doing stiff leg deadlifts, burning your back up and ain't training your hamstrings. For whatever reason, the connection is not being made. So that's not a good exercise for you right now for hamstrings. So go find an exercise that is good. Now later on, after you develop some muscle with these other exercises that you can feel, maybe you can go back to stiff leg deadlifts and do them, and you can feel them now because you developed a little muscle, whereas before you didn't have enough of a mind-muscle connection, or you didn't have enough muscle to actually create stimulation with that exercise, okay? So you got to feel it in the muscle that you're training. And this is another thing I always talk about in seminars too. The second thing is there cannot or there should not be any adverse pain in this associated with this exercise. So, you know, we can use squats, for example. If you're squatting and your knees hurt horribly, I mean, your knees hurt bad when you squat, squatting is probably not a good thing for you. Okay. I believe, now this is just my theory, when your body is able to associate some pain with an activity that you're doing, your body is going to resist making progress with that activity. Now, can you hopefully make your knees more robust because you keep hurting them while you squat? Maybe. It depends on why they hurting, right? But if your knees hurt horribly while you're doing the exercise, or your shoulders hurt horribly while you bench pressing, then I wouldn't expect too much chest development while my shoulders are killing me every time I bench press. What I would suggest is find an exercise that don't hurt so you can focus only on the muscle. Because if you're doing an exercise, for example, squatting or benching, and you feel more joint pain than you do muscle stimulation, then the whole time you're doing this activity, you're creating trauma because all you feel is a damn pain. And I'm not talking about good pain. I'm talking about joint pain. That's not good, you know, or at least that's what I believe. You know, even seeing sometimes trainers, they train guys, you know, so damn hard that they throwing up in the gym. Some people say throwing up means I worked out real hard. Well, listen, throwing up everything that's inside your stomach is not a good thing. And if you did something to make your body want to throw up, then I don't know if your body is even going to let you become better at making yourself throwing up. I don't know. Maybe working so hard that you throw up is going to make muscle grow. I just know I don't want to work out so hard that I throw up, because throwing up is fucking traumatizing and it's nasty and the shit stink. And who gonna clean it up? You or somebody else? Or you gonna throw up in the trash can, leave all your throw up in the trash can? Every time somebody walk past the trash can, they smell your throw up, or they got to throw up. They throwing up on top of your throw up. Now it's just a whole big ass trash can full of throw up because y'all nasty. When all you really got to do is not kill yourself in the gym, keep all that food in your stomach and not be throwing up everywhere. Because here's what I believe, the way your nervous system works. Your nervous system, I believe, is like an electrical system. Okay. So for example, I used to teach this, in my leadership class. When you have, for example, a prisoner of war, or when you have a hostage, when you have a detainee, and maybe you're trying to get information from them, you're trying to interrogate them, okay? I'm going to put you in this chair or stand you up or whatever, and I'm going to beat your ass, okay? I'm going to beat your ass until you cry and say, okay, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. When you give this person, or when somebody give you this good old ass whooping, you're going to stop feeling pain after a few minutes. Why? Because your body goes into shock. So what is this shock all about? Your electrical systems are short-circuiting, right? The switches are being turned off to try to lessen the amount of stress you put on the system. So if you're getting beat and you're feeling a whole bunch of pain, it happens. People break an arm or break a leg. They don't really feel no pain, or, maybe they, get something amputated and they don't really feel it right now. They get shot and they don't feel it right now. That's because your body goes into shock and it turns those switches off to lessen the amount of damage that's caused, whether that be psychological damage or physical damage. Okay. And I believe that can happen. So when you training, you don't want to go into shock. You don't want to not be able to feel this, and I think a lot of times when we train, we go crazy on it and we don't even realize how much pain we may be causing and how much damage we may be causing, because creating damage is also a way to make muscle grow too. You create a small amount of damage and then the muscle improves from the damage and gets better. I don't want to damage my muscles to make them grow. I just want to stimulate them to make them grow without damaging them. Okay. That's a whole nother story I'll tell y'all about another time. Okay. So here's what one thing that I did some research on. So think about anybody going through a very traumatic event, like maybe, I'll give you an example. Now it's kind of gruesome, but maybe think about somebody being raped. Okay. A lot of times rape victims, they say, I felt like I was having an out of body experience. Or maybe somebody was in a real bad car accident or whatever. They feel like they were in an out of body experience. They were floating over their body and could see themselves, right? Because I believe your mind has a way of separating your spirit, your soul, from your physical self. Okay? Why? Because we flip those switches off to lessen the amount of physical, mental, psychological damage that takes place. And that's not what you want. When you're training, you need to be there in the moment. You need to be able to feel everything. Look, you take a pain pill so that you can go train hard and don't feel no pain. Well, if you lessen the amount of pain, you're also going to lessen the amount of stimulation that you feel. Well, that's not good, because you want to, I believe, feel the stimulation to help enhance your mind-muscle connection. And then you're able to associate this pain or the stimulation that you feel with something positive. Hey, a goal that I'm trying to reach, something that I'm trying to achieve. I love training this particular body part. I want this muscle to get big. Then your body says, oh, okay, we're trying to grow from this. All right, you like this? Okay, cool, let's do it. Now, and the flip side of that is, let's say you hired this trainer and he making you do some shit you absolutely hate. He making you do something you absolutely hate. This is the third one. I believe there needs to be a certain level of enjoyment in the activity or the exercise. Now, see, some people they're not going to like this shit, okay? And I'm sorry, I don't care. But here we go. Let's say you're doing a particular exercise for a particular body part and you absolutely hate this exercise. You hate doing it. Like, the whole time you're doing it, you just fucking hating it. And you've tried it 4 or 5 times and you just hate it. I believe your mind has a way of associating the negative energy that you generate from hating this exercise with how much it's going to allow progress to be made from doing it. So if you're doing this particular exercise for whatever body part and you hate it, I don't think your mind and your body is going to allow you to improve or progress with an activity that you hate so much. Now, with that being said, I believe after, I always say give it a good 3 tries. If you do this new exercise and you hate it the first time, give it 2 more honest tries. And if you're not able to get yourself into it and you still hate it, and it's the 4th time and the 5th time, you need to move on to an exercise that you do like. Because think about how much progress you'll be able to make and how much focus, and think about how much energy you can dedicate to doing an exercise that you do like. I can apply a lot of intensity to something that I enjoy doing, or this is one of my favorite exercises. I'm finna kill this motherfucker. You can make more progress that way versus doing something that you hate. And here you are, just going through the motions trying to get through it, and you got this trainer pushing you through it and you throwing up and all this other shit. Man, you creating psychological trauma while you in the gym with that, okay? So, and that's my third principle. So it has to be an exercise that you can feel in the muscle. You have to be able to feel it in the muscle. If you can't feel it in the muscle, you need to move on to another exercise that you can. Number 2, there don't need to be no negative pain or adverse pain associated with the activity or the exercise that you're doing. Number 3, there needs to be a level of enjoyment. Like, I love doing this exercise versus I hate doing this fucking exercise. okay? Because I think you can make more progress that way. A lot of times people say, well, sometimes you need to switch it up so you won't hit no plateau, and you don't go through, okay, yeah, well, if you hit a plateau, maybe it's because you're fucking up with your nutrition or you're fucking up with your sleep or something like that. Because I think the body is like a machine, and I don't think your body says, hey, I've been doing this exercise so much, I can't make any progress with it anymore. Your body learns how to become efficient and become better with consistency. And when you switching things up, that's the opposite of consistency. Can you make progress like that by switching things up? Of course. But I also think you can make progress by keeping things the same too. And I think, that could be something that you try. If you simplify your workout, keep it with the same things, that way you can focus on your progress and becoming more efficient at those activities. I think that can help. But don't get me wrong. Mixing it up. Can you do it? Hell yeah. Does it work? Yeah, it worked too. Because remember what I said, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. This is just the principles that I use, okay? All right, so we're going to move on. Let's see. Martin Bodybuilding. I didn't get to check to see where Martin was from, though, but Martin Bodybuilding says, who do I respect? He asked the question, who do I respect in this whole bodybuilding game? And not necessarily for their accomplishments. I can say Chris Aceto, the guy that was my coach when I won the New York Pro and did a couple of shows after that. I really respect him because I feel like he knows me. He understands me, and he understands the artistic side of bodybuilding that I try to bring into place. Mike Cox has been a friend for a very long time. He's a coach. And I talked to him on the phone simply so this motherfucker can keep me from being psycho, because he understands my mind and he understands how I think and he understands my anxiety, and all of that stuff. So I really respect him. Listen, people talk shit about Sean Ray. I respect, man, the way this dude used to look. I can remember being in high school looking at Sean Ray, Kevin LeVron, and Flex Wheeler. And I said, man, I want to look like them. That's who I want to look like. And still, to this day, I believe they had some of the prettiest bodies in history. And I respect them for that. I didn't know their personalities at the time. And I've learned, I've met them and stuff like that. And Kevin LeVron is cool as hell. He like a cool-ass uncle. We could talk shit together and stuff like that. So I really like him as a person. Of course, I respect Arnold Schwarzenegger, man, because he was like my idol. The first person I could look at, growing up and say, I want to be like him. I want to, everything he is, that's what I want to be. And that's weird, this little black dude wanting to be like this white man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care. I wanted to be just like Conan the Barbarian. I wanted to be like Commando. And I wanted to be like that man that killed the Predator. That's what I wanted to be. And that was like the highlight of my career, going to the Arnold Classic and seeing him. And when I seen him, he didn't see me. At least I don't think he did. And I don't think he noticed me. But I made it my goal. I don't give a fuck if I never win this show or any show. I want Arnold to notice me. I want him to know who I am. I want him to know how much I love him. And I want him to be able to see this part of bodybuilding that I'm trying to bring back. I hope he notices it one day. And man, when he came up and shook my hand one day, I think it was maybe 2014, he came backstage and he shook my, I'm done. Like fangirl, I almost fainted. I almost passed out. I couldn't talk. I was just smiling, showing all my ugly ass yellow teeth. And I was just in love with Arnold. And the next thing was, okay, now I want him to like me. I want him to see me as being the best bodybuilder. I want him to say, yeah, I seen everybody else, but I like Cedric the best. And 2015, that shit happened. I think I got 4th place at this show. And he said, I think Cedric should have won. Hey, I'm done. I don't need no more money. I don't need no trophy. Arnold said he think I'm the best. And damn it, fuck all of y'all. I'm good now. That's my man, And then, of course, 2017 is when I won. And y'all not gonna believe this, but at this show, I don't even remember it happening. I was so dehydrated, and I think I was passing out every time I got backstage. And I could just remember somebody saying, Cedric, okay, it's time to go. and they would stand me up or help me stand up and point me towards the damn stage. And I would, what are we doing? Oh, you got to do your routine. Okay, cool. I go out there and hit it, and then I come backstage again, and I'm asleep again. I'm out. I don't know what's going on. And later on, you know, my coach and Lloyd Davis, my man from Ohio, he said, Cedric, did you know you did this? Did you know this happened to you or that happened to you? Did you know you was sitting in a wheelchair? Did you know the doctors was checking on you? I was like, man, I don't know none of that shit. All I know is I woke up about 4 o'clock in the morning and I seen that Arnold trophy and I seen some Gatorade. He said, I brought the Gatorade. I said, oh, well, thank you. I don't remember nothing about that show. I do remember doing a speech. And everybody says, oh, such a good speech. And then I remember Arnold was like, okay, let's take a selfie. Look, I hate fucking selfies. I just hate that. Take a selfie with me. I don't care if you my girlfriend or whoever. I don't like taking selfies. So here he come, and he old too, and he don't really know how to use Snapchat, but he trying to hit it. You know, so I'm behind him, and I can remember what you know, you want to take a selfie, take this, you know? And he was laughing like hell, right? And the next day, the people that worked the Arnold show was like, man, Arnold said he had the most fun with you that he's ever had in 25 years of doing the show. He said he had the most fun with you. And so that's something that I'm real proud of. Even though it's motherfuckers in Russia and the Middle East and, you know, Africa and shit, they want to kill me. Oh, you a nasty fucking monkey because of what you did to Arnold on stage. And but I don't care. Me and Arnold had fun. So fuck y'all, okay? So that was a real nice moment. Arnold is the person that I respect the most. I already talked about Lloyd Davis. He's one of the guys that helps put the show together up in Ohio. Anytime I get there, as soon as I get there, hey man, what you need? You good? You need anything? And I'm always a bit reserved, and I stay to myself, and I don't ever need nothing. I'm good. But he's one of those guys that check on me no matter what, you know. And then he give me hell because I ain't called him in a while, you know. But Lloyd Davis is another guy that I really respect a lot because he's always there for me, you know. He don't act like, man, I'm running this motherfucking show. I ain't got time for you. You know, he's always like, hey, man, what's up? I'm glad to see you again, you know. And being able to talk to him at a show a lot of times takes my mind away from the show. It's like I'm talking to a cousin or something, you know. And he kind of looked like my daddy too, so I think that's another reason why I like him. Let's see, Fuad. Fuad is my man. Look, there you go. What about Fuad? You didn't even give me a chance, bro. Look, I hate Fuad because I love Fuad. Look, I wish I didn't like Fuad because he get on my fucking nerves, but I can't help it, man. This motherfucker, I love Fuad, man. I really do. That's my man. We have spent so much time together, traveling for SciTech, being at the damn expos, and a lot of times it would be a non-stop lines. I'm talking about people coming. And when we seen somebody ugly, he might touch me. Hey, look at that ugly motherfucker right there. We would laugh, or if we see a pretty girl, I might say, hey, look at that girl right there. He'd be like, God damn, you know, we would whisper little stuff like that to each other, and we would come up with plans like, hey, we got these lines. If me and you stay together, we can hit everybody together, a picture of both of us at the same time, and we don't got to do them separate, and we can get done, you know, that kind of stuff. And but sometimes people will want a picture with me without his ugly ass in it, you know, so sometimes I had double the people. Sometimes people didn't even want no pictures with Fuad, and it would just be my line and not him, and he could go sit down or go to sleep or something because I was more interesting. But Fuad is definitely my man. And even now, you know, I could be whatever, you know, because I get in my zone and I don't fuck with nobody. I don't like to be on the internet and shit like that, social media and all of that stuff. And Fuad to hit me up, hey, man, you doing all right? Just want to check on you. And that kind of shit means a lot to me. Jason Huff, that's my man. He don't compete no more. Big ass Asian dude. The motherfucker looked like I used to call him Mongolian because he looked like big ass Mongolian. But he was humongous, man. I love Jason Huff. And we could always have those regular dude talks too. It wouldn't be like fucking bodybuilding talk all the time. And so, you know, let's see if I can think of somebody else because I know there's somebody that I'm missing. When I say the respect part, I think I say it more on a personal level. Because there's plenty of people who I respect for their accomplishments, but I think when the question was asked, it was like on a personal level, you know, who do I really like? Max Charles is my dog. I mean, I don't mean dog like animal dog. I mean, that dude, Max Charles is my man. And I don't get like, look, so we competed together 2019, I think, and we were overseas, and I was fucked up again. And here go Max. Hey man, you good? What you need? He was picking me up, helping me to the stage and shit, and I had to compete against him, but he was right there and always have been, and if he competing and I'm not, I would call and check on him. If I'm competing and he not, he would hit me up. You doing good? Blah, blah, blah. And we spent a lot of time together. Cause I can remember going over to Germany and stuff like that for the company we used to work for. And, it would just be me and him, looking like two goddamn thugs in the hood walking around slow as hell. He got on his Timberlands and shit. So I even bought some Timberlands so I could try to be like him, but I bought the wrong Timberlands. My shit didn't even look right. But I really love Max Charles though. That's my man. So another question that Martin Bodybuilder asked me, he said, what's one bodybuilder from any era that I wish I could train with? And my question is kind of fucked up because I don't like to work out with people, man. I like to do my own shit, When I was younger, before I started competing, I would have liked to have worked out with anybody because they know so much and I don't know nothing. And I idolize them so much that, I just want to be with any of them, because I never knew any real life bodybuilders. I wasn't like I was from a big city where there might be one or two bodybuilders in my city or something. But now, yeah, I like working out with Max because me and Max have a real similar training style. We work out a lot alike. And so working out with him is, if I had to choose anybody, I would say, hey, let's go work out, Sid. I would go with Max. I wouldn't go with nobody else because, I like the way he trained. Let's see. One guy named Alvin Johnson, he asked me if I train on base. No, only when I absolutely have to. It's annoying as hell going on base. All them old ass retired dudes. People leave shit everywhere. Then, if I'm happen to be in uniform, motherfuckers talking about, hey, tuck your shirt in, take your headphones off, all of this bullshit that I don't want to hear. Oh, hey, you got on that old PT shirt, you can't wear that, all these restrictions and shit on base. So I'd rather go to a gym off base if I can, and most of the time I do, because I don't want to hear all that noise. But when I was working at the academy, there was a gym, inside the academy, and I would go there, and it wouldn't be nobody, it wasn't like a full gym, it just has a few things that you could do, and I would go in there. Let's see if I got anything else. I think that's it. So I'm done. I don't even know how many minutes this has been. I'm going to try to save this and post this later. But I want to say thank y'all so much. I think, what is that? 37 people right now. See, I think a lot of y'all thought I was bullshitting and people didn't want to, now don't try to wait till the shit blow up. And then later on, when there's fucking 2,000 people watching and all that, I'm going to delete all the motherfuckers and I'm going to try to come back to this 40 that's right here, right now. Because people going to jump on the bandwagon when this shit get posted and they realize they could have seen it. But anyway, I see a lot of comments coming through that I can't look at and read while I'm talking because then I'm doing like this and I don't want to do that. But I do see the son of a bitch that keep saying, post your cycle, post your cycle. Stop that because you're being an asshole. Okay. But everybody else that, said some kind of comment or left a question or something, what I'll do is I'll go back through the video once I save it and I'll write those questions down and I'll hit y'all with some answers on that the next time we do it, okay? Once again, I think the next time I do it, I'm going to try to do it on Instagram, try to use a screen recorder if it worked for me. Shut up about my artwork, Gerald, okay? You should have posted that question in Instagram instead of worrying about leg workouts, all right? Now, so I'm out of here. I got to go eat and I got to go train. Thank y'all so much. I really enjoyed this. And so I'll see y'all next time. How do I cut this shit off? Somebody finish. Do I hit finish? Can anybody tell me if I was supposed to hit finish? Gerald, shut the fuck up. Finish. Yes. Somebody tell me how do I cut this off? Finish. Do I press finish? Somebody? Man, y'all too late. I'm cutting it off.